Again, I'm going to read you A Dog's Way Home, Chapter 7, Abby. I heard about your accident, the ranger at the Humpback Rocks Visitor Center say after Mama explained who we were. We get deer-related accidents up here all the time. You think they learn? I wasn't sure if he was talking about the deer or the drivers. I cleared my throat. My dog was in a crate in the back of the truck. When we hit the guardrail, he was thrown out. We just drove back to the spot where they went off the road, Daddy said. I looked all around. We even drove a half-mile back up the road and went down to the creek there, and the other way, too. I didn't see any sign of him or the crates. The ranger sighed. Folks lose dogs up here a lot. I thrust the flyers with Tim's photo at the men. This is Tim. He's not just a dog. He's a champion and my best friend. The ranger studied the picture and smiled. A little lassie. You're familiar with Shetland sheepdogs, Mama asked? My wife grew up with them. She loves these little dogs. We'll have one if our son wasn't so allergic. Daddy placed the rest of the flyers on the desk. Any chance you could post these around for us? We're offering a reward, I said. The ranger ran his finger along the edge of the pictures. A galaxy champion? Huh? I seen that on TV once. My wife watches Animal Planet all the time, generally speaking. We don't post private notice, though. Mama said, he's very, very important to my daughters, sir, and to us. He looked me over with my crunches and Mama with her bandaged arm and complicated sling. There's some bathrooms and picnic areas fairly close. I reckon I can post a few of these around. Daddy's face broke up with relief. We really appreciate it. We're heading home, but if anyone finds him or know anything about him, they can call us collect. The phone number is right on the flyer. The ranger glanced down at our number below Tim's picture. That's a North Carolina number? Daddy nodded. About 45 miles south of Asheville in a little place called Harmony Gap. We live just outside of there in Wildcat Cove. The ranger whistled. The other end of Blue Ridge Parkway. That's a heck of a way from up here in Virginia. If somebody finds him, we'll come get him right away, I said. It couldn't be that far. The ranger signed and gathered up the flyers. Let's hope someone does them soon, honey. Winter's not far off up here. Once it sets in, most of the parkway closes down. Nobody will be back up until spring. My heart dropped down to my sneakers. After Daddy settled my leg on pillows in the back seat of the van, I said, can we go back and look one more time? No, Abby, Mama said, but he might be there. It's almost 10 miles back. Besides, it'll be dark soon. So, I said, not caring how much Mama hates it when I say this, we could spend the night in Winsboro again. Come back up tomorrow and look some more. This time, Daddy turned around. Abby, we need to get both of you home. Your mama has to see the doctor in Asheville tomorrow, and your grandmother's worried sick. Besides, he said, rubbing the back of his neck, we just don't have the money to be spending all these nights in motels. But Daddies, we can't just leave without Tim. His blue eyes, the eyes that always laugh, turned hard. A dog, Abby. He's a dog. I know how much he means to you, but you and your mother are more important to me right now. Daddy turned around, stared the van onto the road. I was so shocked by my daddy's hard heart. I feel like I've been slapped full in the face. I bet by the time we get home, someone will have called, Mama said, touching Daddy's shoulder. She added, and I'm thinking we'll try and get back up here in the next weekend or two. But Mama, if he's trapped in that crate, he'll starve or thirst to death. Daddy glanced at me in the rear view mirror. It's the best we can do right now, Sugar. Besides, Tim's a tough little dog. Every foot, every bit of smile, we went down that road torn at my soul. Promise, I asked. Promise we'll come back? Mama reached back and squeezed my hand. We'll try. We took the turn off from Roanoke. The forest and trees closed behind us like a green secret wall. Chapter 8. Tim. Tim sniffed the spot where Abby had stood just hours before. He smelled the women and the big men, too. But he drank in the scent of his girl. It was not quite her usual smell of grass and apples in her body's own unique mixture, though. That there was a smell of pain and fear he did not understand. What Tim did understand was she had been there too, so he must wait. Often he had waited long spaces of time. When she left just as the sun topped the ridge and did not returned until the sun shadowed straight long, but she always came back. The big bus would rattle up to the mailbox at the bottom of the hill. His girl would run down the bus steps calling, "Tim, come on, Tim," the sweetest sound the Shorties had heard all day. He would launch himself off the porch as if he had wings and race down the hill. When he and his girl were together, everything was as it should be. Tim sighed, lay down next to the spot beside the road and that led the strongest sense of her, and closed his eyes. The sense of girls and grass and water carries him home. For 2 days, Tim stayed close to the spot with her since. The occasional car passed by, and always Tim watches from beneath the undergrowth, but the cars never stopped. On the 3rd day, rain pushed him away from the roadside and into the deep forest, even under the thick canopy of mountain laurel and the impenetrable mist of honeysuckle vine. And the rain found him, soaking his dense coat. Tim ground and curled tighter into himself. He shivered as the rain and wind howled overhead. His stomach growled. Another day passed without food. The rain finally stopped. Tim climbed back up the bank to the road. He sniffed the spot where he had smelled the girl. The smell of her and the girl and the big man were gone. As hard as his nose worked the ground, he could not find the scent of her. All he smelled was rotten leaf and the acrid scent of wet asphalt. He stood by the side of the road, bewildered and heartsick, without the sense of her to guide him. What was he to do? He trembled without utter aloneness. The shadows of the late afternoon grew long. Something deep within him stirred. The shadows of the late afternoon grew long. Something deep within him stirred. Geese know without being told that when it is time to head south for the winter. Foxes know when it is time to dig dens for the babies to come, and Tim knew it was time to find his girl. Tim sensed the air, searching. He trotted north up the road. He stopped, then walked a little farther. He paused and sniffed. The north held nothing for him. He turned and trotted south. The further he went, the stronger that direction pulls him. True as the needle of a compass, south was the way he must go. Soon he would see his beloved girl, and everything would be as it should be. He could not know the many miles and vast wilderness that lay between him and his home with the girl. A dog does not measure distance in miles or even days. A dog only knows that every footfall, every heartbeat brings him closer to his heart's desire. Anyone seeing Tim trotting with his easy gait along the side of the road will see a dog going home. I'm gonna stop here because I read 2 chapters. If you want to hear more, then just find a black screen and you can read more. And I'm gonna read chapter 9 and chapter 10. Bye.